My whole intro ruined by Becky saying, coughing and saying, "Oh, sorry."
I tell you, it was pristinely timed. It was pristinely timed. It was right on the, what do they call it? The drop, the beat dropping, whatever it's called. I don't know. But yeah, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Deductionist podcast. How are you? How have you been? I hope you're well. I hope something wonderful is happening to your lower halves at the minute, and it's all. I was watching Dylan Moran on the drive back from the tattoo place, and he's talking about his ideal day following stress. And if you've ever seen or watched the Dylan Moran, everyone, you know he's got a specific delivery and a timbre to how he talks. I can't do that justice, but I'm going to tell you what he said anyway. He was like, I want to lie face down on a sofa with a mouth full of cake and something lovely happening to my lower half. I thought it was great. Good evening, Miss Riffraff. Hope you're keeping well and wonderful and enjoying the music as ever. Wunderbar. We are back. Time is off. Look, let's deal with the elephant or the canine in the room. Yes, it happened. Am I going to talk about it a great deal? No, I'm not. Because this isn't the vehicle for that. If you really want to discuss that at length with me, buy me several pints in a pub of your choosing, and we can do that. But I will tell you what happened today. I got my cookie tattoo, and you've got tattoos, right? But yours are on your arms. When you think of a place that you wouldn't want to get tattooed, not there, obviously. What comes to mind in terms of pain levels of what you would look to avoid?
I'd try to avoid like elbows, knees, anything where the bone is sort of feels very close to the surface of the skin. I've heard that's where it's most painful. I don't have a great knowledge of pain and tattoos because I got them in the most standard places. I've heard of some very painful places, and I wouldn't have known not to tattoo there had I not been told. Obviously by their experience, not to go there. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, absolutely, Miss Riffraff. Whenever, wherever I see you, we shall do it, mate. We shall do it. But the ones for me, like, obviously we did the interview with Nathan. So if you want to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, in terms of what a tattooist thinks of placement and meaning and information connected to tattoos, that's your resource. I'll try and do one of those link things that exist in I don't know what they're called, YouTube cards or something like that. Well, I'll try and put forward one of them, and you can have a look at it as well. But suffice it to say, I've got a number of tattoos. I think that's fair to say. I have a number of them. Yeah, and this it certainly ranks highest for me in terms of pain, in terms of the pain threshold. So it was on my calf, just on the back though, not on the side or the front. It was on my calf, and I will. Iago points it out. Sole of the foot. Sole of the foot is very bad. In case anyone's wondering about the blanket, it was Cookies, and it still smells like him. So that's why I wear it. But let me show you. This is going to be so good when it all comes tumbling down.
Oh, nice. Love it.
What's there?
That is mint. That's fucking cool.
So the whole kind of idea behind it was obviously I am a Cookie Monster, not the Cookie Monster. Which, incidentally, anybody needs any pub quiz trivia knowledge, Cookie Monster's first name is Sydney. There you go. There's a free one for you. Yeah. Cookie Monster's first name is Sydney.
No, Sydney Cookie
Yeah, yeah.
Monster.
It's from Cookie Monster's own mouth as well. He gave an interview, and it was Sydney something monster.
That's cool.
There you go. So the Cookie Monster in the tattoo is me, and Cookie is a cookie, the cookie towards Cookie Monster, that kind of a
Yeah,
thing. That's why the Cookie Monster on there is like,
yeah.
you know,
Uh,
God bless him.
love
So
it.
what have you been up to, sir? How's the edit going? How's the documentary going?
It's done.
Can you give us an update?
It's done now. It's just the music. It's where it is before. Other than that, just working
Just
away,
work, just
work,
working away in a
making
top
bells. I'm
secret facility.
making bells. Oh, yeah. Playing a lot of Lego Star Wars. That's about it.
Lego Star
Getting
Wars.
that game on.
Yeah,
Hmm?
God forbid you
I,
buy this Harry Potter game that's come out.
yeah, I pre-ordered
Fucking
it.
hell, there's some angry people around that kind of stuff.
I know.
But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah, no. That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible
no.
idea. But yeah, I've actually been filling my time, the little time that I've had, which hasn't been a great deal, using Chat GBT. Are you familiar with this, sir?
I am not. What the deuce?
What the
Chat.
deuce is happening? So, Chat
Anything like
GPT, excuse me, Chat GPT is basically a. Oh God, I've just realised I've got to delete my history before I show you. You're not allowed to see any of this.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, all right, well, that way
don't
we
say
go.
that.
No, no, put it down. Put it.
um, so it's basically a there we go. I was trying to do too many things at once. ChatGPT is basically an AI software
Yeah.
that will do anything in the written or creative form for you. So if I
I have
oh,
heard of this.
yeah, of course you
I
have.
didn't know its name, but I know I've seen
You
things.
don't live under a bridge.
No,
So
under the stairs. Under the stairs.
that's what I'm saying. You don't live under a bridge.
My God, he's
So,
right.
like, if I give you an example, ask it a question, and you
Um,
just given our humour, it won't work if you try anything too tawdry. It will just
oh,
say no, we won't do that.
draw
Won't draw.
a.
It will write.
Oh, all right. Write me into a film, but I am a piece of fruit.
Write me a short script from a film about a piece of fruit. And the thing is, right, it will take a few beats, and
Yeah.
there might be a short lag in terms in yeah, beats beetroot in terms of it popping up and whatnot. But I've come to understand at this point it's no it's it must be thinking about it or something. It's it's like a script about a piece of fruit. This is the thespian that's stuck inside ChatGPT going, oh my God, I'm going to my trailer. This is absolutely despicable. A script about a piece of fruit.
Where's the alcohol
But
gone?
this is sincerely the first time this has ever happened. Because
God.
no, normally...
I'm gonna laugh.
let me show you more about what I've been using it for. Write me a riddle about playing cards. No, it won't do it now because it's stuck on yours. I'm gonna reset it. There you go.
Fruit.
It doesn't like
Makes sense.
fruit.
Does not like fruit. She doesn't like me.
Ah, one miss.
All right, one miss.
All right. Oh dear.
Didn't mean to press your buttons.
Oh God. What is
Yeah,
happening? This is an absolute travesty.
well, Mm.
This
I hope. Yeah, I
ch-
hope that this
chat.
podcast anchored all on that.
Yeah, no. Chat GBT.
Otherwise, I do apologise.
Absolutely disgusting behaviour. We'll give it a little beat, but I mean, it's an infamous thing. You can get it on your on all of your smart devices, but I've been using it to practice my critical thinking tasks because it will write riddles and problems to solve and critical thinking puzzles for me. So
Oh, nice.
whenever it is that I've made my way through whatever book of shit that I'm working on or just playing with and whatnot, and I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs, looking for a fix, in the way that most crack addicts do. Not that I'm a crack addict. I'm addicted to. Oh God, I've said it now. Oh dear. End of podcast. There we go. That's the end of it. So I would use the robots that they keep inside everything
Mm.
to help me train, to help me think about certain things, rather than saying things like, Adam, name any puzzle, write me a puzzle, write me a riddle now, do it now, write me a riddle.
Oh, we
Doesn't
pen landed
work.
in the brew. Pen landed in the brew.
Good work. But Miss
How did
Riffraff's come up with a fantastic question, so I'll type it in and I won't share until it's come up with the answer. Airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. Come on, performance anxiety. There we go. The airspeed velocity of an unladen European swallow is approximately 11 meters per second or 24 miles an hour. However, it should be noted that this is a reference from the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail and is not a scientifically accurate measurement.
Fantastic.
It's
Genius.
great. So I've been doing things like this. Write
Very good.
me a murder riddle. I'm just seeing if it comes up with anything. There you go. I'm not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?
Ooh, a
Right?
bubble?
Maybe. I'm thinking fire at this stage.
Yes, yes.
I'm
Oh,
I'm yeah, I'm
totally.
thinking
Yeah,
fire.
I'll be on it.
But but then we
Oh,
go like this. Solve the riddle like this.
nice.
Hey!
Ah,
Right,
oh,
and I'm
cool.
telling you, for those people who have ever been stuck, oh God, that's one of the courses that I deliver. Let's not look at that anymore. Whoopsie.
We're going
Um,
off a deck, everybody.
you can tell I'm out of practice at this whole streaming lark. I was getting my tattoo earlier, and I was talking about some of the things that some of the cases that I've been working on, and I'm being extra careful now in terms of how I'm talking, but I was rabbiting on blah 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 blah, and I said a name, and then this little voice in my head went, "You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that."
Right,
So
right.
I'm
Imitations now. So Adam Golamorley's fecal matter will be found at the scene of a crime. I'll be like, Ben, how did you say
sorry.
what you do?
But yeah, for some of those people that have been looking for ways to practice, after tools to practice with, stuck for ideas, stuck for resources and whatnot, this has been a kind of great free tool that you can use. Like, how do I practice my deductive reasoning? Spell it correctly there, Ben. That's probably the best way to do that. And Am I by any means saying that you should not sign up to any of my sessions and get the education firsthand? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is, if you are ever in a pinch,
So, wow,
Chat GBT can help you.
there's a nice little segue into selling the course there. That was smooth.
Am I smooth or am I smooth?
Smooth as peanut butter.
You can say, like, there are smoother things than me, because there most assuredly are, in that I am about as smooth as the average pyramid, which isn't particularly smooth in any sense. Right? My kind of subtlety is more about hammering home the observations, and flat out stating my intentions towards you. Like, you've been around some of my more obvious moments and my less subtle approach towards talking to people. I think bull in a china shop would be a little bit too kind. it, it, it would be a little bit too kind. But let me show. It's finally spat out an
I
answer.
enjoy your openness.
Let me show you. There you go. Here are a few ways to practice your deductive reasoning. Solve logic puzzles and brain teasers. You can use ChatGPT for that. Read and analyze detective stories or mystery novels. We spoke about that at great length before we did the book reviews, and the unboxing and whatnot. Take online quizzes or tests that assess your deductive reasoning skills. They exist, but in all honesty, they're terrible. They are terrible. Adam, you know of a particular game of sorts, don't you, where people can go to practice their reasoning skills? Is that right?
I do know a game. It's called, what is it called now? What have I called it? It's many games. It's many different games. The Escape, as it was once known, but
Yeah.
it's now 5 games in a sense.
5 games.
No, it's more than 5 games. It is, how many? I can't remember how many. It will be 8 games soon.
Wow.
All on the
So
Deductionist channel. It's
yeah. So what?
basically, we had the original one kind of set up. It had a
Yeah.
few issues, so I got rid of it. I've started it from scratch, and basically, like, everything that we made, I've sort of just chopped up and sort of rehashed and added little bits to it. And if you go onto the Deductionist team channel page, you will find their Escape chapters 1 to 3, followed by 4 spin-off games, which are more so mini games that follow the Sherlock lore, and then there's a 4th final epilogue chapter to the Escape, which those 4 together make up the adaptation, well, a loose adaptation of Ben's book, Sherlock Holmes and the Biblical Colours.
A
And I've
case
tried
of the
to sort
biblical
of
colours.
engineer it in a way that doesn't necessarily spoil the book, because otherwise it just gives away the book. But it just sort of brings certain elements of the book
Yeah.
and into format on YouTube. It is a game you can play on your handheld mobiles if you have if you creative kids happen to have those, or even better, you can just play it on a desktop, which makes it a lot easier if you need to point and click and copy links. Should you need to do anything like that, not like that pop up. We wouldn't ask that much of you, surely. But
Oh.
all sorts of little sort of clues you've got to find, and little hints you've got to get, and find ways of figuring out little puzzles to get to each different area. But yeah, final bit to that be coming out on the YouTube page, Deductionist team. Go on there. Don't make me come to your house. I will.
And I'll be able to find it, just so you know, so I can send him there.
And FedExes me out.
That's it. Right out from under the stairs.
Yeah, that was threatening because it was a threat.
Exactly. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, was smooth. The bringing in of the Escape game. Adam has essentially created an anthology of puzzles for you. Would that make you an anthologist? Is that how that works?
I have been called something similar. I've been called a little pervert, which is that's nothing. Oh, okay, right. Sorry, got that wrong. It's going to go up again.
I didn't mean it, Dad. I'm sorry.
Often.
Yeah. And Miss Riffraff is commenting on the smoothness as smooth as a sandpaper facial, a chair to the face, or a poorly tuned trombone.
How does she know all of my acronyms?
I mean, I go straight to the Deadpool quote. It's about as smooth as a sandpaper dildo. But arguably, that's a little too on the nose as evocative metaphors go. My kind of go-to was normally a riff off one of her comments, a chair to the face. I'd be like, yeah, it's as smooth as getting high-fived in the face. But go on, sorry, go on. What were you going to say?
I was saying I heard a brilliant insult at work the other day where I think a guy got a little bit too flustered when someone said something to him, set him off, and I don't think he quite knew where he was coming from with this insult. But he said, "If I want to get hold of you, I'm going to shove a bloody cactus-shaped cactus up your ass." Like,
wow,
cactus-shaped cactus.
Are there any other kind?
Couldn't get a more painful cactus than a cactus-shaped cactus. Brilliant.
A cactus-shaped cactus. Yeah. I would have asked him. Oh, go on, sorry. Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
It's all about cactus-shaped cactuses online.
I wonder what he would call a group of cactus-shaped cactus.
The Avengers.
Hey, Sean's here. Sure, amazing. Nice to see you, mate. It's been. No, that's Sean. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, me and Sean still have things to talk about, but like for both of us, we both lead very, very busy lives. And to paraphrase Jack Sparrow, problems arose, ensued, were partially overcome. So we still have things to work on. Glass half wrong. Maybe post the info to the chat. Which info were you referring to? The Deductionist channel?
Can I post?
Yes, as Sean, it's great. It's great to kind of see you vicariously. I can see your profile picture, sir, but that's about it. And in terms of us being able to add info to the chat, I don't think we're allowed, or I don't think we're capable. I don't know for sure. To be honest, I've never tried. If you are without the capability to search. For the Deductionist team and find the game, we could intimate that might be the first puzzle. It's not. It's not. We're just accounting for the. Yeah.
Find the game.
Yeah, we're just accounting for the fact that we can't post the info in the chat. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get Adam to post it in the kind of info section when this YouTube video renders and goes out properly tomorrow.
Sweet, yeah.
Yes, it just saves to use the English slur, fannying around. At the minute. So, to the crux of the matter, sir. If I were to say to you, and this might be putting you on the spot, but in the nicest possible way, I enjoy the challenge for you. I enjoy the challenge for you.
Of course you do.
Yeah. If I were to ask you what situational awareness is, or no, rather just a heightened state of awareness. Let's say that. And I don't mean in a spiritual sense, like Ace Ventura talking about spiritual creaminess and such. I don't mean any of that. I just mean a heightened state of awareness for what is going around you on a day-to-day basis. What would you say that is or was?
My heightened awareness. You mean
Yeah,
my
like
observation?
what would it be? What would it entail? What would somebody that has a, oh, Sean's got to go. Take care, Sean. Talk to you soon.
Well, I
What
don't know. Even
if somebody were to ask, like, answer the question I'm asking? What is a heightened state of awareness?
I'm just being at your most observant
Yeah,
in a given space, given area.
yeah.
Are you asking like what kind? When am I?
Well,
Would I
it's
consider
no, no,
myself?
no. It's just one of those open-ended questions. You know, like
All right.
if
Oh
somebody
yeah, no, no,
like if you're hungry and somebody says, "What do you want to eat?" You go, "Yes." Just feed me. I don't care. It's one of those ambiguous questions. If to you that's what a heightened state of awareness is, that's
yeah,
that's that's what a heightened state of awareness is, right? If you were looking to communicate that meaning, I wouldn't disagree with you, because that answer is something that you put into different situations. You are simply at your most observant,
mm,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So if I were to say to you, if you if you are at your most observant, what is stopping you from paying attention to too many details?
The task, if there's a task at hand, because usually if you're most observant, I suppose it's particularly dependent on what your focus is and what matters to you in that moment. Like you could be very observant, but if something just doesn't matter to you in terms of like something else going on, that you won't give a shit. You won't just really pay attention to it, or I don't anyway. I just put it to one side. You'd be more so focused on what everything else is, or what whatever you're doing, or whatever's going on. Usually in a workplace, isn't it? Like if you need to get something done and you decide to sort of shut out everything else just so you can kind of do that, but you're concentrating on whatever you're doing in still an observant sense, in the sense that you're
Yeah,
wha-
yeah.
whatever's around you relating to what you're doing, you've got that in mind. It's there.
So would I be correct in saying, in terms of your interpretation, your awareness, your ability to observe can be, not that it always is, but can be controlled, or at least guided?
It can be, yeah. It can in certain depending where you are emotionally at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Observe,
so, I'm so fucking glad you said that word. I'm so glad you said that word. And
yeah,
this almost feels like a magic trick. Like he wasn't prepped to say that word, but that's very important for what we're going to mention briefly. But just to cite an example, right? So, what do you do more of in the house to relax? Would it be reading, playing a video game, watching TV, listening to music, doing some kind of those things, hanging out with Becky? What are you most likely to do in the house to relax? That's the specific thing.
on the sofa looking at shitty videos on YouTube.
Right? We all
That's
do it,
basically it. That is, yeah, that is.
right?
You all the times you.
Seriously. And if you say you don't do it, you are a liar, deluded, or both. That's what you are. Right? The kind of aimless scroll through short dopamine
Yeah,
fixes of YouTube videos and whatnot has replaced the newspaper to read whilst you're on the toilet. That's what it's
yeah.
replaced. But right, so you are on the sofa, scrolling as you do, and whatnot. What kind of things are most likely to stop you from enjoying whatever video it is that pops up, or at the very least paying attention to it? What kind of things are likely to do
Food. That's my
that?
big one.
So, giving you food, or just you being hungry, or both?
More than likely being given food. If food is on the cards,
Right.
or food is being brought, delivered, or I have to go and sort of seek food out, that kind of thing. That's one thing that will distract me and make me put the phone down. I've got a bad habit for that. It's just one of those things where it's just like, it's very hard to pull. It's like one from one fix to another fix, isn't it? You just sort of like,
Mate, I get it. I get it.
you
I
know,
I ha- I had it earlier during my tattoo. Like I managed to, I don't know what happened inside myself or my head and whatnot, but I was in quite a great deal of pain. The tattoo was really hurting, and my stomach was going, feed me, 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 and the tattoo stopped hurting because I just wanted to be fed. My point with all of this, right? My point with all of this, um, my very good friend and colleague, Mr. Jim Wenzel, who's the director for protective services at ProCipher, pretty much runs, and I say pretty much because there are a number of other large names in this industry, but he pretty much runs the executive protection stuff across the pond. The dude is basically he's basically a furrier James Bond. That's what he is. He's basically a furrier James Bond. Only he's lovely and doesn't have a license to kill. We have to help him hide. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't happen. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, Jim.
From one thing after the other. The
Yeah.
jig's up, son.
But he sent me this Instagram post, which got me thinking. It was a screenshot of a comment of a chap who I presume serves in the military because his profile picture is of him with a very serious sniper rifle. Not something that you can get at an average range, right? And his comment is, I just finished a great article about increased situational awareness leading to increased PTSD. And the guy that shared this, his name is Mike DeZargo. And that's his Instagram handle, by the way. And the question that he poses is, at what point does situational awareness become hypervigilance, and where does it go from there? And he cites a few examples, but the most readily available one for all of us is, at some point we're all taught to look both ways before crossing the street. Some will take it a step further and never jaywalk. Others, who may have had a traumatic experience associated with crossing the street, may choose to never cross the street again, because there is only one outcome. While still others, traumatized or not, develop a keen sense of traffic flow and cross whenever they need. So the articles at play, and they are all right. I'm not gonna share any links to them. We'll put them in the information below because they're available. You go to Google Scholar, and if you add in increased awareness leading to PTSD, you'll get the full list, and they're available for download, and you can do all the requisite reading there. But the whole kind of point of this is, if you are aware of more. If you are aware of what's going on around you, what is stopping you from continually focusing on that? What is stopping you from continually focusing on that? Like, for example, when you are engaging in a fear of, like, walking down a dark alley, or for me, mine is swimming in the sea. I don't like the thought of not knowing what's underneath me.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like that. And it's, I think the name for it is thalassophobia. Thalassophobia. But all that basically is I have an awareness of what is in the sea. Right? Or somebody who's scared of walking down a dark alley, you have an awareness of what could be down said dark alley. And your mind continually focuses on this. To my mind, and this is just to qualify this right out from the get-go, this is only my opinion on the information. It's not fact, it's not fiction, it's not backed up. It's something I'm developing here and now. In terms of I mean, I've read the papers, but it's in terms of using it, and I'm kind of what's the word? I'm just downloading. It's verbal stream of consciousness going out. But you have bridged the gap from awareness towards focus. So when you step into focus, your emotions become involved, right? And that's the link towards it. We've had a few comments come in. Um, Here we go. Glass half wrong. I'm new here. Came from Eric Hunley post on Twitter. Oh, amazing! Thanks for tuning in, sir. Great to see you. I'm a police detective that finally got EDMR treatment for PTSD. Congratulations, after decades. Congratulations. Always had heightened situational awareness when out in public. Went out with wife and friends a couple of weeks ago, and she made a comment about something in the restaurant, and I mentioned that I hadn't noticed. She was shocked and said, "You have lost your situational awareness all of a sudden. Apparently, I've lost some lately." Well, to me, and you, Mister or Mrs. Glass Half Wrong, would be the best to confirm this one way or the other. To me, that would be because you bridge the gap in those moments from awareness to focus, right? For whatever it was, right? In the moments, you took the moment to focus on enjoying time with your family, right? Whatever that is. My kind of mantra in this situation is we are each of us human, right? I think it was in Law Abiding Citizen, where the guy who's friends with Jamie Foxx, I don't know the actor's name, would talk about the quotes from Marcus Aurelius in how he would hire somebody to walk behind him in the crowd, whispering in his ear, going, "You're only a man. You're only a man." Right? And I think when it comes to this kind of stuff, that is an idea that we lose, right? For whatever careers that we're in, revolving around the requirement for awareness, whether that be a police detective like your good self, or my job, or I don't know, even a chef to a certain degree, leading a busy kitchen, you need to have this kind of access towards situational awareness. But when you stop to focus, you miss things. But you are human. Right? You are human. That's not to say, yeah, that's not to say that you relax. So let me give you an example, dude, right? Have you ever, at any stage, been on like a fixed kind of, I don't know, diet or exercise plan, or I'm going to go out running every day? One of these types of things that keeps happening. One of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
types
yeah.
of things, right? I mean, would you feel comfortable to use the kind of, forgiving space? Would you feel comfortable sharing with us a moment where you either broke the routine that you were on, or lost focus in
Okay.
it, or whatever it was? What, like somebody, mine's normally I'll have some chocolate and think, fuck it, I'll just have some more. Right? That's the other one. What is it
Oh,
for you?
oh, the majority of the time is me in a burger van at work. I try to stick now to eating crackers because I don't eat very well. I eat a load of shit. I know I do. And at one point, I was telling Becky, like, I'm just gonna take crackers into work now for dinner time. I'm not gonna make dinner time a kind of pivotal moment of the day because that's my worst when I want all the bad things. So if I just take
Hmm.
crackers to work, I'll be all right with that. And I lasted on that for so long, and then I gave into the burger van outside and went straight into to my old routine. But that has happened many times.
Van has happened many times. I like that.
Man,
Van,
got me.
van has happened many times.
Too often.
So what it sounds like, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, right? You had a plan in terms of sticking to the crackers to help you and whatnot, until that little idea was in your head. This sucks. I want a burger, but no, we get this kind of benefit out of it. No, but I want the burger more. Yeah, but the benefits are good. I don't give a fuck. I want the burger and
Yeah,
whatnot. So you got to the point where you were focusing on the
yeah,
van, and that's the difference, and that's kind of the points that the article was making. It's moving away from awareness, which is predicated on your ability to stay emotively distant,
yeah,
right? That's how we step into Sherlock's emotional qualities are antagonistic to clear reasoning,
yeah, yeah.
right?
That
If you've what was
happens.
that? Sorry, mate.
Saying like you think of the burger and immediately it makes me very happy. Like I'm already getting the chemicals. Like I can already taste it. I imagine everyone's had this at some point when they can just imagine the food that they're eating. And those moments are like, if especially if you've made a pact with just yourself, you know, and you can train yourself out of it, can't you? But
You
if
can.
the more, the more, I suppose, like what you get from that in terms of those positive chemicals and feeling coming through. They can be
Right?
quite overwhelming, and it's just yes, I'll go
They
with the
can.
burger.
They can. And this is how it kind of, at its worst, can kind of, I don't know if the right word would be devolve into or grow into or insert right word there, whatever it is, but become things like PTSD, you know, because the Kurt Cobain lyric is true, and I said it in the documentary. Just because they're paranoid, just because you're paranoid, doesn't mean they're not after you, and that is a line to walk, because if you are like diagnostically paranoid, you aren't capable of emotionally rationalizing a situation in order to see what is actually coming after you. But if you are, you can see what's coming after you. In either situation, there is something coming after you. Right? And that's,
In the other
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's the lines that you have to walk, right? So it does raise, to a certain degree, a very good point. But it comes back to some of the things that we've spoken about time and time and time again.
Mm.
Mindset. Your
Oh yeah,
mindset. If you
yeah,
don't do the work on yourself before you lay on any kind of cerebral skill, any kind, I don't give a shit what it is. If it goes past awareness, I don't know, sight reading, music, learning a language, coding, these types of things are predominantly cerebral skills. But if you don't do the work on yourself, there's no way that that skill gets developed to a point that you know how and why and when to use this kind of thing. You know,
yeah.
have you ever watched any film where you? I think that's it. Have you ever watched any film? No. Have you ever watched any film where you've walked out of the cinema or turned the Blu-ray player off or Netflix or whatever it was, and you only remember one particular scene in detail or one particular part in detail? The rest is like, well, this might have happened, whatever it is. Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Could you tell me the film or a bit kind of about that?
Uh, it was. It was. I can't remember the name of the film precisely, but I just remember it was about a woman who would ingest things to deal with the trauma she was dealing with at home. She was a housewife,
Yeah.
and she'd swallow more things. And I just remember there was a specific scene in a hospital with. I feel like I'm
Big
ruining the
scar
film.
down her neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that the one? Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Basically,
I think I know what you're on about. Again, I don't remember what the film is, but I remember particularly.
because you see things that she ingests and you see
Yeah.
things after, but there's some things that they don't show you, and you only see the bigger thing she's been eating around the house, which are like light bulbs and batteries and
Right.
blades and knives and forks, and you see it on an X-ray. And I remember it
Yeah.
just sort of going, oh,
See, this is where we can make these types of observations deductive,
mm,
right? We can make these kind of observations deductive. You've just heard a little bit about our preferences, and that we both remember the same film, or at least the same situation happening. I don't know, over multiple films and TV shows. I'm sure it's probably been referenced before. I think something similar was in House, or it probably was in House. Pretty much everything else was in House. MD, but right. So you've got an idea as to where our kind of metronomic tendencies are towards focus, as in the engagement of our awareness, the engagement of our emotions, and awareness, the partial disengagement of our emotions, because at the end of the day, we're not robots. We can't completely turn them off, right? So you've heard there that for whatever other character development or scene setting or other people that were involved and whatnot, we remembered one little bit of weird, right?
yeah,
Or slightly, not necessarily weird, but what's the word I need? Like not really focused on or not really seen a great deal. Quirky,
yeah, yeah.
right? Quirky but gross, arguably, right? Because you see some stuff.
Yeah.
You see some stuff.
Grim
So
thing.
what does that inform? And this isn't a question I'm asking you, by the way, mate. This is to anybody listening. What does that inform you of then in relation to our sense of humour, or in terms of something that might inflame our focus? Right? How can you apply your abductive reasoning backwards in order to understand a partial catalyst for that kind of, I'm not going to take stock of everything that's going on, I'm just going to focus on this one little bit. Right, I'm just
Yeah,
going to focus on this one little bit. I'll give you again another kind of odd example, like an odd analogy, but it's an analogy all the same. If you were to go to a strip club, you would find the guys that are having their lap dances focused on the lady that is rubbing their body glitter onto their crotches. That's what would be happening, right?
yeah,
If you asked any one of those guys to tell you about, I don't know, the donkey that was on fire in the corner whilst singing Nessun Dorma, they wouldn't have a fucking clue what was going on. Not a fucking clue, because you know where their focus lies. So you can reverse engineer this kind of information in order to understand a little bit more about them. And they don't have a lot of control over their mindset, and well, obviously, it's kind of already apparent by them walking into a strip club anyway what their interests are. But what I'm saying is that of this one particular person that's in front of them, that's how you can start to build this apart. So this kind of information is a consistent two-way street the whole time. What do you have to put in place? You have to put in place the work that's on yourself in order to know when your body's saying, dude, I'm not aware anymore, I'm focused, or dude, I'm disengaged, or whatever it is. Right? There are a
yeah,
number of things that you can do, and we've spoken about this, right? And we had the same thing for you. You have a particular physical trigger that stops you from focusing on YouTube. Hunger,
yeah. Oh,
right?
straight away.
That's I
Some
would
joke.
bet
I just keep looking at them.
the
I'm
more
like,
the more we make the more we talk about food as well. My head has been in my treat cupboard. Everyone's got a treat cupboard at home, right? Where all the treats lie. I've got Reese's cups in the cupboard, and my head has just been Cookie Monstering the whole thing, like nom 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 nom. This that's where it's been. That's where it's
when
been.
we used to go to the gym, and afterwards sometimes we stop off at Tesco, and I'd always stop off to get a protein shake, and it took a good while to stop going in. Well, it depends if you came in with me, we would just be getting protein shakes, so I'd have no reason to go to the other aisles. If I was happening to be going in on my own before the gym, uh, because Ben would give me a lift back, so if I was going in before, if I get the bus up going to the gym, 9 times out of 10, I'd wander up the other aisles just to see if something would take my eye first, and just be like, yeah, I could eat that I could eat that quickly. Could you do that now? I should do that right now.
Right?
I think the worst was having a Pizza Hut before I went to the gym once. I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah,
I them
I,
bunny hop, bloody hell, with a Pizza Hut buffet.
yeah.
That was,
Bear in mind, our workouts we used to do were fucking horrible.
oh God, yeah. And it
They
wasn't
were
just,
horrible.
yeah, it wasn't. Well, you weren't static workout. You were literally
Full
moving
body weight,
core,
full calisthenics and whatnot, full
spinning
functional
around
stuff.
everywhere, upside down stuff. And I just remember thinking, wow, I didn't need to eat or do any of that. Where we worked as well, they had infinite supplies of crisps and cookies and biscuits before we'd go to the gym. And yeah, they were never a good place to go to beforehand.
Especially on a
Just
Wednesday.
work, just leave work and go to the gym. Not look at that cupboard, even though you know that packet of roast chicken crisps has got your name on
Oh,
it. After a shop day.
right? It was a Wednesday. It was the whole thing. But like I mean, everyone's had a similar situation to this, where you stood in front of a cupboard or you stood in front of a fridge, looking in. Your body's going, "We're not hungry," but your brain's going words to the effect of, "I'm bored."
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be that, but words to the effect of "I'm bored" or "There's something else going on." You're focused, right? You're focused. You build your awareness and your ability to have other things that encapsulate your attention. Push you forward. To I watched the Chris Hemsworth series on Disney Plus. Have you seen it?
No, what's it called? Might have seen the
Limitless.
trailer. I've seen the trailer. I have seen the
Yeah,
trailer.
it's a pretty good show, right? It's a pretty good
Yeah.
show. I mean, in terms of the information, right? Or if you just like seeing Hemsworth with his shirt off, pretty good show because he spends most episodes with his shirt off, right? Naturally, of course he does. I mean, let's be fair. If you look like that, you're gonna,
Yeah, yeah. It's
right?
gonna
You're
happen.
gonna. But they came to an episode where they spoke about fasting. And there is a lot of science to in and froing over fasting. I don't particularly care about that. I fast because it's easier for me. Rather than counting calories and weighing this and doing this and whatnot, if I fast for a certain level of time and just eat a couple of good meals as well as keeping my exercise up, I'm fine. That's easy. That fits into my busy life. Cool. But they were talking about mitochondrial development, and I'm not going to go into this now because it's not particularly relevant to the topic of what we're discussing. But the long and short of it is he had Hemsworth do a 4-day fast, a 4-day fast with just water. Now, to some at the start, hearing that, you go, that must be fucking horrible. Oh my god, yeah, no, fate worse than death. No, like once you get past day one, it's the breaking of routine, the breaking of neuroplastic reactions towards hunger, towards getting in from work, sitting down, having the brew, having tea, boom, 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 boom. So it's changing the difference between awareness and
Yeah.
focus. I'm saying you. I don't mean you specifically. I mean like a proverbial you. You drive home from work and you might be thinking, God, that was a long day. I can't wait to just get home and have my tea and relax, etc., whatever the night is. But
Yeah.
if you take away the having of the tea, you're thinking, oh, fuck, what am I going to do? Oh, no, it's going to be hard. And you're focused. But if you
Yeah.
were aware of more things, it becomes
Yeah.
easier. By no means easy, but it becomes easier to do, right? Because you're breaking that routine. Look at smokers. Smokers
Mm.
who go out and I'm just going to go have a cigarette to relax. Fundamentally and scientifically incorrect. I don't know what's in all of the vapes that exist. I don't. So I'm only speaking of cigarettes.
Yeah.
But because of all of the varying degrees of chemicals that are in there and whatnot, the way they diminish your oxygen capacities within your bloodstream and whatnot, it's going to tighten muscles, which is going to contribute to the mind-body connection towards a thought and physical response. You become tense, you think tense, you're more stressed.
Yeah.
You think about the mechanicry of the reaction of what you're doing, you're taking yourself out of a stressful situation and going to go and have a couple of deep breaths. That's all you're doing. That's where the relaxing bit is. The association of this and the breathing in and whatnot means fuck all towards your relaxation from a scientific level. If you want to go and have a smoke to relax, you do you. Right? I'm in no position to judge. You do whatever you want. But this is what I'm talking about in terms of a position between focus and awareness. So the point
Yeah.
is, yes, it does exist, and yes, it can contribute towards that, but it highlights the requirements for a stronger mindset and more work to be done. More work to be done on yourself, more work to be
Yeah.
done on the way that you control your emotive and physiological responses towards particular stigma, boredom,
Mm.
hunger, the music of Justin Bieber, right? Oh no! I've got a 1-day course in London next week, and I bought myself I bought myself one of these. But it's great because I stabbed myself in the head. It's where it's one of those telescopic pointers.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's cool. What do
But
I call them? A lightsaber.
a lightsaber. Oh, I'm definitely going to be doing some of that. But it's great because it's me, nerdy, covered in tattoos, bearded me, working with a bunch of really important, really upscale, really significant individuals to try and teach them I mean, I'm working with other people of whom I can't talk
Yeah.
about, but to try and teach them my ways for a bit in
Oh,
terms of accessing
very
information.
cool.
So it appeals to the kind of anarchist in me to see what their thoughts are when this heavily tattooed Stokey pops up, just to see that
Who?
what is happening right now. I mean, I've spoken to a few of them already, right? I am joking. They're not going to be like that in terms of their job role. But I often will play these kind of situations through in my head just because it's fun to think about. And to me, it works into that what if game that we mentioned when it comes to situational awareness a while back. I mean, Glass Half Wrong will know this as well. You go over situations in your head when you walk into a building or when you're walking into a room to interview a suspect and whatnot. And there are all of these scenarios that you can consider in order to try and pave your way through them. What stops you from becoming at risk of
Yeah.
losing your way is your awareness of the situation rather than focusing on one particular what if. Oh my God, no! So yeah, that, guys, is all we are going to say about the possibility of of situational awareness leading towards a PTSD and trauma and paranoia and these kinds of things. So, dude, just to kind of bookend our look at the sorry, I missed that. Miss Riffraff's made a comment. I presume it went back to earlier when I was mentioning the dancers. It's like the video of the dance group where a person dressed as a gorilla wanders through. You see the dancers but don't notice the gorilla because you're focusing on the dancers. 100%.
For a
100%.
minute,
I
I thought
think
how you were going to bookend it. I thought you were just going to put a clip of that in. Just a gorilla.
just a gorilla stripper.
Like what you see.
Show you my banana, darling. No, that's none of that. That's none of that. So we're bookending it by coming back to Chat GPT. What I want you to do, dude, is in our secret interview chat that we have, send to me any object, but don't make it kinky.
Don't make
And I'm gonna ask Chat GPT to write me a riddle that uses your secret object as the answer, just to see if it can. It's already giving me performance anxiety.
As soon as you try and think of it, a really interesting object, and all the normal things come to mind. Plank of wood. Oh, I forgot. I'll do something. I'll put there.
Yeah, don't say what the answer is out loud, dude. That kind of gives the whole thing away.
I won't say what it is, but it didn't like it last time, so I'm saying it again.
Well, you've kind of given the answer.
Hey?
You've given the answer.
Oh, not give you the answer.
No. You just said pretty much what it is. It didn't like it last time.
Let's go back. Let's go away.
Yeah, we won't use that one. Adam was too focused at that particular time. He was focused on his struggles to think of something and wasn't aware of the amount of things that were there. Perfect. Got it. So I don't know how. Oh, it's come up pretty quickly. So I'm gonna read it out because obviously I've typed in the answer for it to put out. So members of our lovely listening or viewing audience, respectively. What has buttons, a door, and heats, but you wouldn't want to wear it on your head? What has buttons, a door, and heats, but you wouldn't want to wear it on your head?
I'll give you a clue. It's not a fruit basket.
Great clue. It's a great clue. It's a great clue. See, that's the thing. That's the thing at this stage. We could be focused on the fact that probably no one's listening anymore. Right? No one is listening anymore. We could be sending this out into the ether. So we'll add this in as add your comments, your suggestions, and things in the comment section below. We will leave that with you. And for now, dude, do you have any closing thoughts you would like to leave everybody with?
I mean, I think a film about a piece of fruit hasn't been attempted before, and some brave soul out there should do it. Either Spielberg, maybe, or I don't know, Nolan. I think they could, together, collaborating, make something really special. And
Nolan,
I guarantee
Nolan.
that thought you up at night. Yes, we are.
Oh, he is listening, or she is. I don't know. I can just see glass half wrong. There's no way to kind of even get any information from that. So yeah, we will leave you with that riddle. We will be interested to hear your comments below in response to that. If you enjoy the puzzles to solve, head on over to the TikTok channel, which is contained in the link tree stuff, which will be in the below entity of this. By no means do I mean my knees, which are currently where I'm pointing. It's contained in the information. But with that in mind, we shall love you and leave you all. And
Thank you.
business will resume with hopeful normalcy as of next week. And with that in mind, guys, take care. We'll see you again.
Have a good one.